Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into something interesting, a digital coin that's making quite a bit of noise. We're talking about AFX. We've got some fresh analysis, August 5th, 2025, showing some really fascinating stuff happening. And we're going to try and break it all down for you today.
Absolutely. Our goal here isn't just to skim the surface. We want to piece together the whole AFX puzzle. What's happening with its market right now? What are these innovative, almost kind of bold mechanisms they're using? And then what's the bigger picture, the ambition, the potential future? We'll try to make it super clear, even if you're sort of new to digital assets. Think of it as getting under the hood of AFX.
So perfect. So let's jump right in. The market pulse. What are the numbers telling us like right now? Initial snapshot. The price is kind of sticking around $17.50, maybe $17.52, pretty stable there. And the 24-hour trading volume, it's about $958,000. I mean, on the face of it, those numbers seem solid, but maybe not earth-shattering for a new coin, right?
Well, yeah, on the surface, maybe. But this is where it gets really interesting, especially if you're looking at it strategically. The thing that just jumps out is this crazy buy-sell imbalance. We're seeing like $949,000 in buy volume. And the sell volume, just $8,500. It's not just an imbalance. It's extreme, almost unheard of, particularly for something this new.
Wow. Okay. $8,500 sell volume. That's practically nothing. So in a market that's usually about quick flips, what does that signal, that kind of lack of selling pressure? What's the strategic read there?
Yeah, it's a huge signal. This overwhelming buy pressure with almost no selling. It suggests really, really high confidence from the people holding it. Like, they have basically zero interest in selling at these prices. It points more towards a strategic accumulation, like a land grab. Maybe big players or just a lot of very convinced investors are quietly getting their positions set before something big happens. It screams belief in the long-term potential, not just quick speculation. It's like they know something others don't, perhaps.
That's a powerful sign of conviction, definitely. And speaking of things that make you go, wow, the liquidity. On PancakeSwap, it's $1.34 billion. Billion dollars. With a B. Just think about that for a second. For a coin that's apparently less than 5 days old, that's remarkable, almost unbelievable.
It is. And it definitely makes you ask, okay, is this too good to be true for something so new? Achieving that level of liquidity so fast, well, it's usually not an accident. It could be some really clever launch mechanics they designed, to build liquidity from the get-go. Or it could be serious backing, significant seed funding. And well, yeah, you always want to look at where that liquidity comes from long-term. The immediate benefits are just undeniable.
Huge benefits, right? Like you said, it's like having an 8-lane highway for trading instead of a bumpy dirt road. Makes buying and selling super smooth, very efficient, less price impact, even if someone makes a massive trade. That means big investors, maybe even institutions, could get in or out without crashing the price. That's like a sign of a mature market, ready for serious money.
Exactly. That liquidity is a strategic foundation. And then if we look at valuation, the fully diluted valuation, the FDV, it's sitting around $3.67 to $3.7 billion. Now, FDV, just to clarify, that's the value if all the possible coins were out there. What's interesting strategically is comparing that to other AI coins, maybe like FT or AGIX. Their FDVs are way higher, often in the tens of billions.
Okay. So strategically, AFX having a smaller FDV right now compared to those bigger players.
Yeah.
That suggests room to grow, right? Significant upside potential. Like if they execute their plans, there's potentially a lot more growth ahead compared to peers that are already valued much higher. It hasn't reached that peak valuation yet.
Precisely. It offers that potential runway. And this connects to the real money in the system. If you look at the AFX USDI pair and USDI, remember, that's their own stablecoin, designed for their ecosystem that way. You see over 38 million AFX coins paired with $672 million in USDI. That tells you there's substantial actual capital flowing in and being used within their system. It's not just theoretical value.
Right, not just smoke and mirrors. That's real value underpinning things.
Yeah.
And the whole growth over 254,936 wallets already. That's fast adoption. From a strategic angle, how important is that rapid user growth for the project's health? Oh, it's critical. Absolutely vital. This fast growth fuels the network effect. Think about like a social media site. The more people join, the more valuable it becomes for everyone, right? More connections, more activity. For AFX, it means more people staking, trading, maybe developers building things. It creates this positive feedback loop. More users mean more utility, more liquidity, which attracts more users. It builds strength, resilience, and a real community, which is huge in crypto. Okay, so the numbers look strong. Liquidity's massive. Holder growth is fast. It seems like they're building a solid base. Now let's pivot a bit. What's AFX's actual game plan? What makes it different? What are these unique mechanisms the analysis talks about.
Yeah, there are a few key things that really make it stand out. First, the staking-based launch. This is different from many launches where early folks might just dump tokens quickly. AFX seems designed to encourage holding from day one, rewarding people who stake their tokens and participate long-term. It attracts a different kind of investor, hopefully.
That is an interesting twist for a launch, focusing on commitment. But, realistically, how tough is it to get investors thinking long-term in this market? What if that commitment doesn't quite stick?
It's definitely a challenge, but they seem to have other pieces in place. That staking model ties into their lock and unlock system. This is basically a way to manage the coin supply hitting the market, preventing huge, sudden sell-offs. They use a 90-day gradual unlock, so tokens get released slowly, predictably. That should smooth out supply, reduce wild price swings, and give people more reason to hold, knowing there won't be a sudden flood of coins.
Smart. Thinking ahead about the tokenomics. But it's not just financial engineering, is it? I see mentions of some pretty big AI clans too. An AI aggregator, something called AICX, an AI trading platform. How does the tech side, the AI stuff, fit in with the financial mechanics? How does it boost the ecosystem?
Right. The AI is core to their pitch. It's meant to add real utility, tying into that whole AI narrative that's so big right now. The AI aggregator could maybe pull together different AI tools or data feeds, making AFX a sort of hub. AICX, the trading platform, well, that could offer smarter trading, better analytics, maybe powered by AI. This is likely where their own tech, like the T-Coin system they mentioned, comes in. They claim it's their artificial general intelligence system. The idea seems to be that this AGI runs underneath, making the whole ecosystem smarter, more efficient, maybe even autonomous in some ways. So yeah, they're building tech, not just a token.
That's a really potent mix, finance and advanced AI. But the real kicker, the thing that really grabbed my attention and feels, well, unprecedented, is their plan to pursue a global stock market IPO, an initial public offering. You just don't hear that in the crypto world. What are the implications of that? This feels like the biggest piece.
It is arguably the most significant strategic move they're signaling. It changes the entire conversation around AFX. It positions it not just as another crypto coin bouncing around with market sentiment, but as a potential business, a tangible entity aiming for traditional finance rails. The implication: it could fundamentally change how it's valued. Think about it. Big institutional money pension funds, corporations, they often can't just buy crypto directly. Too volatile, regulatory hurdles, and IPO creates a regulated, audited way for them to get exposure. It's like putting AFX in a suit and tie, making it acceptable for Wall Street. That could unlock billions in capital that simply can't touch DeFi directly right now. It bridges the two worlds.
A genuine game changer, potentially. Moving from pure crypto speculation to something valued like a public company. Okay, so given these massive ambitions, the analysis also looks at future scenarios, potential prices. But we absolutely need to stress here for you listening, these are simulations. They depend entirely on AFX actually doing all this stuff. And all investing, especially here, carries risk. Big risk.
Absolutely critical point. These aren't predictions set in stone. They're what-ifs based on successful execution. So, for example, the short term, maybe 7 days out, they suggest $24 if they successfully launch new features or pass those unlock tests smoothly, showing they have control.
Right. And then if they get listed on major exchanges, a big if, but huge for visibility, the targets could shift higher, maybe $30, $50. The analysis even throws out $80, $100 within, say, 30 days after a major listing, assuming that network effect, the community growth and staking, keeps firing on all cylinders.
And then looking further out, tying into that IPO dream. If the plan for stock conversion starts looking real, maybe towards year-end, and volume stays strong, then the target could stretch towards $150, $200. That's the scenario where the digital asset value starts merging with a traditional equity-style valuation.
It's a lot of ifs, but wow, it paints a picture of what could be possible if they pull it off. So let's recap. If we boil it down, what are the absolute key things that make AFX different, the strategic pillars we want people to remember?
Okay, the key takeaways, the differentiators. 1, it's supposedly built on proprietary AGI tech like Tornquin's system. 2, that unique staking-based launch for long-termism. 3, its own USDI stablecoin, suggesting a self-contained economy. 4, that massive initial liquidity. 5, the really big one, the clear IPO goal. 6, the 90-day gradual unlock for managing supply. And 7, the fast community growth building that network effect. It's that combination that makes it strategically interesting.
And what's the vibe from the strategists, the analysts who track these kinds of plays? How are they viewing AFX overall?
Well, the perspective seems to be that AFX is trying to run a playbook, similar to what projects like BNB or maybe FET or SOL did in their early game-changing days. But AFX's angle is unique. It's this hybrid, AGI plus DeFi, blended with the ambition of stock conversion. It's not just launching a token, it's attempting to create a new kind of bridge between decentralized tech and traditional markets, aiming for institutional legitimacy.
So the long view, if they actually manage this very complex plan, it could be huge, not just for them, but maybe showing a new path for other projects too.
That's the belief. Strategists think if AFX pulls this off, especially the IPO part, it could become a real legend. It would be proof that a project can bridge those two worlds successfully, setting a benchmark for mainstream adoption and valuation that we haven't really seen before.
Listening to all this, AFX definitely comes across as, well, compelling. Highly structured, very ambitious, with a clear strategic vision. It's going to be fascinating to watch how this unfolds. If even part of this plan comes together, it could be really significant.
For sure. It really pushes the boundaries of what we think a digital asset can be or can aim to become.
Okay, so as we wrap up, we want to leave you with a couple of things to think about based on everything we've covered. What single factor do you believe will be the absolute most critical for AFX actually hitting these huge goals? And on the flip side, what do you see as the single biggest hurdle, the toughest challenge in trying to connect the crypto world with the traditional stock market? Something to chew on. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.